Hi!
Hey guys! Welcome to our new subscribers. So we got
Yes,
to
yes.
102 last week. We're now at 104. So awesome.
Thank you so much. It's so
Yes.
greatly appreciated.
So we wanted to give you a treat by doing a video. I did a podcast earlier, but one where Anna's here too,
Hi.
where we watch a movie or a series and we talk
Yes.
about it together.
And
Uh,
we decided in the interest, sorry to interrupt. We decided in the interest of being welcoming to our new subscribers,
yes.
we did one bad thing and one good thing.
Yep.
One thing we watched
Yep.
was quality entertainment,
Yep.
and the other was not. And as you could probably tell by the title, which is which, we are talking, of course, about Madam Web and X-Men '97.
Yes. We'll start with the bad so we can get the.
Yeah, holy
Um,
crapola!
So, as we always do when we do these reviews, much like I did with Batman and Robin or things like that, let's talk about any positives we might have seen from the movie, which, granted, there were very few. But, but if you were to point out any positives of the film that you saw.
The
And
cat,
then
the cat, the cat was cute.
the cat was cute. There was one funny thing with the passenger on the train.
Yes, that actually had a solid callback with the guy trying to get to Vermont on the train. Oh, just a quick thing. Spoilers abound for both of these, so just
Yeah.
be aware.
Yes.
This is your spoiler warning.
Yep. There you go.
Yes.
Good job.
And
Cool. All right.
yeah, that's it.
That's all I was got.
You think I'm kidding? I'm not.
Yeah.
This movie's bad. End of video. No,
I
this
didn't-
is not the
I
end of the
didn't,
video.
I didn't talk. I don't know. I thought it was excellent. I don't know what was wrong with you. No, I'm just playing. I think you're just a hater. You hate women. Anyway, no. It was a movie.
It was a movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
like in terms of the cast themselves, they were fine. It was just the writing.
The writing is so
And the
bad.
direction. The direction's got to take some notes there, and the CGI.
Yeah.
God.
The CGI
The ADR
is horrendous.
Yeah, this was like, especially let's talk about the ADR voice stuff, especially on the villain.
Yeah, what was that?
That was amateur fucking film.
Oh,
school
sorry,
shit.
sorry to pause you for a second. Are we done discussing the positives of the film?
I think we are.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's rip it to shreds.
Rip it.
It's what it deserves.
Yes, but you just like they have most of the villain stuff is like ADR'd over, and it just you barely see his lips moving, and then it's like that's
and when
amateur
you-
shit. You're
and
a
when you-
fucking major studio,
Right? And when you do, like, his mouth is going like this. And, like, half the time he sounds like he's doing a Nicolas Cage impression.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm doing my southern thing, but I'm kind of then I go a little bit deeper like this, and for some reason it's funny because at the beginning when they're in Peru and all that shit, like he's obviously a Hispanic or he's not an English white guy,
yeah.
but he's talking like he's from the fucking South of America, like from this deep
Southern
South.
United States,
Southern United
yes.
States. So it's just like, what is going? Why is going?
The accents are very bizarre.
Yeah.
Particularly the accents that they have imposed upon characters who are supposed to be native Peruvians.
Yes,
It's
it's
there's a term for it.
yeah,
It's called whitewashing.
yeah, and there's a whole thing at the beginning with the mom, and she's pregnant, and then she gets a baby kick, and it's like she got bad gas. It says feel realistic. I'm almost going into labor, but just a little gas pain there.
There are so many weird beats in this film. Like
the umbrella.
oh my gosh. Yeah, okay, so, all right. So, the very beginning of the film, like, I think everyone is well aware of the fact that Madam Web sucks.
Yeah.
This is a horrible horror... I mean, well, No, yeah, it's a bad movie. It's a very bad movie. It is. It deserves the ridicule. You know that like right at the beginning, with a flashback to 1973 to Cassie's mom,
Yeah.
Constance, in Peru, staring at a gigantic dewdropped spider's web right in front of her face, being all like, "These are so rare. No one's ever caught one alive. It's right in front of you." So like already we're this is off to a bad start. And then our villain steps into frame right next to her, and for no reason whatsoever points his red umbrella directly at the camera and pops it open towards the camera before he lifts it up. There's no reason for that. It'd be one thing if like the umbrella popped open and then he lifted it up and then it revealed his face, like that was the villain reveal. But that doesn't happen. We already saw his face. There was no reason.
I feel like it was an artistic choice by the director.
Yeah,
they're very artsy.
They're very artsy. They love their web symbolism. There are so many moments of like a glass breaking, and it like it breaks
Looks
into
like
like
a web,
that
yeah.
spider web pattern, and the camera will just linger on it. Like, look, it's the spider web. We are all connected by her web. We're so artsy.
Yeah.
Look at us making film.
Yes. So anyway.
Yeah, it's off to a bad start, and it continues to be bad. It never stops being bad for almost 2 hours.
Yeah, and then she finds the spider, and then the guy, as he goes in, just shoots people, and then...
Right next to her, by the way. Yeah. He shoots the people right next to her, and she has the gall to ask, "What are you doing?" I don't understand.
I don't understand. What are you doing?
Lady!
Well, he just shot the people with you. I think he's probably a bad guy.
Right?
And then he takes the spider and shoots her, and then the Peruvian spider people.
Las arañas.
What the fuck is that? But anyway.
They look horrible, by the way. The costume they have for them, so bad. His costume. Yeah. Ezekiel, the villain, his costume looks like I've seen cosplay better and with more effort put into it than what they did with that Spider-Man-ish
rip-offy music
costume that doesn't even have like the right eye holes. Like, they didn't even bother to like put anything. It looks so bad. And the spider people of Peru, they literally just like wrapped black wire around them.
And it's funny because like the main Peruvian guy that was talking, like,
it's really American.
Yeah, well, he's American, obviously, but like he looked like Peter Stormare in the face. It's not him, obviously. He picks better projects than this, but like it was just kind of like, I'm like, so we wanted to show these Peruvian spider people, and they completely speak English for some reason. What the fuck? Lack of effort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's rampant.
Yes. So then after all that, her baby is born with this horrible looking doll.
Oh God, that thing was freaky.
Yeah, and then we jump start to 2003, baby, because that's where we're starting at.
Oh my God, for some reason it's 2003.
And
I don't know why.
We meet our main character, Cassandra Webb, driving an ambulance.
Because she's a paramedic.
Yeah, and in the back is her paramedic partner, Ben Parker. Yes, that Ben Parker, played by Adam Scott, who's fine.
Yeah, I mean, not offensive or anything.
No, he's fine.
He just had nothing to do.
Yeah. And meanwhile, he's pumping someone in the back, saving their life.
Yeah,
and
he's doing
she keeps
CPR.
fucking interrupting and talking to him, like, "Bitch, I'm trying to save a life. Shut the fuck up."
She is immediately unlikable.
Yeah. Oh God.
She is immediately annoying.
Yeah.
And it's all like, this is our main character, someone who interrupts her partner while he is performing life-saving endeavors. And then when they get to the hospital and save this woman's life, her son, create some artwork to give to her as thanks for saving his mother's life. Her tiny little, I think 6-year-old child. And she's just all like, "Oh, what do I do with this?"
I don't know how to do it.
It's
like cardboard. I can't fold it.
I can't even fold it. It's like
just take the picture, bitch.
Right, like, and even Ben is like, just take the picture and walk away with it. It's not hard.
Yeah. It's like I've told Anna, and she teaches and I coach soccer. You know how many times I have a kid walk up to you and hand me a flower or hand me grass or hand me a picture or a card they made.
Right.
And it's a drawing of me, maybe. I take it and I'm like, thank you very much. I put it in my bag or I put it in my coat. That's all you have to do.
It's
even if
not hard.
even if I have grass and I'm not going to take the grass home, I'll put it in my pocket or pretend to eat it or something. Just to acknowledge it. Hey, I'm acknowledging that you were nice enough to do this for me, child, and I appreciate it. As opposed to, what the fuck do I do with this? Get away, kid.
Yeah, it's very annoying.
Yeah.
Like, they're trying to set up this like quirky little thing for her, how she's so quirky and not like other girls, and doesn't know how to like interact with people in basic social situations, and that's just so relatable. But it's handled and presented in such an annoying way. It's like nobody actually acts like this unless they are a massive tool.
Yeah.
Right. And that's our main character.
Yeah.
That's our main character, and there's no growth from that.
Yeah, and then they have they go to save somebody's life in a car thing, and then she essentially drowns.
Mm-hmm. And that awakens her spider powers to see the future. Yes.
And then Ben checks her out, and then she starts to get the deja vu stuff going on.
Seeing the future. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she goes to a barbecue, and it's a baby shower for Mary Parker, played by Emma Roberts. A very small role for Emma Roberts. But so Peter Parker's mommy, pregnant with him, and they're just going around asking about things. Everyone having a message or a memory of their mother. Mm-hmm. And she hands in a blank piece
or
of
some
paper.
or some sort of maternal figure. Sorry.
Yeah. And then she's just like, well, my mother was killed during birth, died during birth. And just like, you're at a fucking person's baby shower. Why the fuck would you bring this up?
Right? It's all like, how selfish can you be?
Yeah.
2, way to completely terrify a first-time mom, talking about how your mom died in childbirth.
Yeah.
You asshole.
Yeah.
You absolute freaking asshole. Like.
Yeah. And then they go to a fire, and then she sees the other paramedic that he's gonna get hit by a truck or something like that, and she's trying to talk him out of driving off and let me drive, and then he gets hit by a truck because people just run into ambulances all the time,
right?
But the thing is, when she's trying to stop him, the time she wasted talking to him, he probably would have struck him.
He would have missed it.
Yeah,
like he would have been fine.
Way to go! I know.
Right?
Yeah, and then then we see the Ezekiel Sims guy, and goes to the opera and shows up late to the opera, and I don't know why Bruce Campbell wasn't there to stop him. Reference from Spider-Man, where he's the door. Anyway, she didn't pick that up either. And then he sleeps with this woman who apparently
I believe it says.
Yes. Yeah. He sleeps with this woman who apparently is an agent.
Is the worst secret agent alive because she spills all her secrets.
Yeah, and he has the dream of the Spider Women in their horrible costumes.
Oh my God.
Killing him. And then, he wakes up and tells her about it and how he has to find them and kill them somehow.
And then he kills her.
And then he kills her and poisons her because I guess he has poisonous touch. He can just touch them, and which in a better movie would be a cool power.
Yeah.
But it's in this movie. So then that's kind of our plot point to take off. He's going to try to find these girls. He has some computer hacker, Felicity,
helping him out.
Helping him out.
I had no clue who that character was.
She was just there.
But the 3.
She's the woman in the chair.
She's the girl in the chair.
Yeah.
The 3 Spider Women in question are at this point, teenage girls.
Yeah.
And they are Martha Franklin. Martha.
Maddie Franklin.
She goes by Maddie Franklin, but.
And we've realized that they were in Ghostbusters.
Yes, the actor plays Lucky in the new Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah.
So good for them getting work that's not this.
And then Anya Corazon.
Anya Corazon,
Who is
which
going
is
to be
an
Hawkgirl in the Superman movie. That's
yeah, and that's an interesting last name since Corazon means heart.
coming. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if that. Please, someone correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure if that's actually an actual
Could
last name. It could be.
I don't know.
But an interesting last name. And Julia Cornwall.
Yeah, not Carpenter, which is her actual fucking name in the comics. We've been reading Spider-Man comics recently where there's like, they've left typos out, like one story said Peter Palmer and then Mary Jane Watkins. Like, what the fuck is this? Why would you not correct that?
Right.
So it's, I don't know if it was a licensing thing or what it was. But
Or just a typo.
Yeah.
Someone honestly thought that Julia Carpenter's name was Julia Cornwall.
And she's played by Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
From
Sydney Sweeney from Euphoria.
Euphoria, that's the name. I was trying to think of what the hell that show was called earlier. I didn't Zendaya or something like that. Yeah.
Euphoria.
Yeah.
Fun. Guess what her character's name on that show is?
What?
Cassie.
Okay. Funny. And I mean, as far as the acting goes for them, they're fine.
Yeah.
I think Sydney Sweeney's the best of the three, honestly, but I thought she was the most likable of the three.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'd like to see her in a better superhero role. Yeah, and then basically she sees these visions of him killing them, and so she's on the train and basically kidnaps them and takes them to the woods and then leaves them
there. Like, this is the
Our
worst.
main character.
Gosh, like, this is the worst, this is the worst protagonist with the worst rescue plans.
Yeah.
She leaves them alone in the woods and then gets I don't know, surprised when they don't want to stay in the woods.
And go to a diner.
And go to a diner that's like 20 steps away from the woods.
Then she goes through her mom's stuff and finds out more stuff. And then she's like, I have to leave to go find out some stuff. I'm going to leave you guys real quick to go for that. Happens a couple of times. I'm going to go find out some more information on this.
Yeah. It's like, we just got attacked by this guy who temporarily paralyzed my hand. Yeah. And now I'm going to leave you again to fly to Peru.
Yeah. Which takes like no time at all.
Right?
New York to Peru. It's just like a 3-hour drive.
Right? She is a wanted fugitive at this point, by the way. But somehow, without any issue,
who stole a cab and continues
and
to
has
drive
actually
it around,
and
then steals an ambulance too.
Yeah, has actually been committing crimes during this whole hiding the girls and all that stuff. Never goes to the police, by the way, or any person in authority who might actually be able to help. Then, after she's a wanted fugitive with proof of committing crimes, buys an international plane ticket and flies to Peru.
And then we get the Peru scenes where she meets one of the spider.
Yeah, the same one, same guy.
Yeah, just one of them. The rest of the people probably didn't matter enough.
No, this is the only one who had speaking lines.
Then she gets Doctor Strange out of her body.
It's the same effect, bad.
And then then we get to basically replay the beginning of the movie where the attack happens.
Oh my god, yeah.
Scene for scene.
Did you sleep through the opening scene? The opening 5 minutes of the film? Because they're gonna play the entire thing again. I was sitting there going
it's vital information.
Make it stop.
And then she has a scene where she realizes that her mom was trying to find a cure for some disease that she was going to have as a baby.
Yeah.
And so then she bonds with her mom somehow, who's dead.
Yeah. She forgives her mom, so yay.
And then we get the uttered line by the previous Spider-Man. Can you repeat that line for me, Anna?
Oh, with great power comes great responsibility.
Oh, that's not quite that.
No, it's not. It's not. It's when you take the responsibility, great power will come.
Yes, they just couldn't help themselves trying to feed that Spider-Man line, but not saying it exactly.
Which completely destroys the meaning of it.
It does, yes.
Because the first meaning is recognizing the power that you carry as an individual and knowing that you cannot abuse that power.
Right.
You have to use that power responsibly. And in the context, specifically in the context of the 2002 Spider-Man film, which is where most of us know that line from,
Yeah.
that helps draw the parallel between our hero, Spider-Man, and our villain, Green Goblin, who also has great power,
Yes.
but no great responsibility. Right? So the idea is not to just let your great power run away from you. You have to use it responsibly. That is the meaning of that line.
Yeah.
When you flip it around and say, when you have responsibility, great power will come to you, that indicates that if you accept responsibility, you get rewarded.
Yeah.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You do not get rewarded for being a responsible human being. The responsibility is just that, like,
You're being
because you need
responsible.
to. Yes.
Yeah.
And so being all like, well, you're gonna get rewarded with great powers. Great powers are gonna come to you by not being a shithead.
Yeah. Bullshit.
Destroys the entire meaning of that ethos. I'm sorry, this made me really mad. And like, I mean, I know it's not that big of a deal. I know it's been like that moment of great powers will come to you. It's been memed to death on the internet already.
Yeah.
And that's funny. But I just wanted to address why it's not just stupid, it's also kind of offensive, and why it completely derails the whole message of who Spider-Man is and who his adjacent heroes are. Because it does.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get that out there as well, because it really made me angry.
And then we come back to New York.
Yes, we come back to New York very quickly.
And Mary's water has broken, so they get into the car. And, of course, he said something about putting their seatbelts on. Are you serious? I'm like, yes. Even if you're pregnant, you should probably have a seatbelt on so that you don't go flying through the fucking windshield.
Also, outside of that, it should be pointed out that for someone who is professionally a paramedic, first responder, emergency worker,
Yeah.
Ben handles this emergency really badly.
He's just like, yeah, just get in the car.
Yeah. He's
Go
like,
get in the car, pregnant
right?
woman.
He does that whole, oh, you can't be having a baby right now. It's not due for another 4 weeks. Shut up! Golly!
So they take him to the hospital, but then they
get attacked.
They get attacked by Ezekiel, and he's jumping and hopping over fireworks, and
before that, they get rescued by Cassie, who has
crashes through the Calvin Klein sign.
She crashes like it's not
in
just
the
a sign.
air.
It's a billboard in Times Square. She crashes through it from the other side to plow him down. How?
Well, at least we do. At least the one continuity though is that when she tries to go away, the engine doesn't start. So at least, even though it's ridiculous that she landed without dying, it's at least the car didn't start. So there's something.
There's that.
But then he's basically just trying to kill them, and he has a chance to kill one of them, and then decides to just go after Cassie instead for reasons. And then they all kind of work somewhat together as a team.
Yeah,
and then,
like that part was if this had been a better movie, that part actually would have been effective.
Yeah. And I will say that the three girls start off kind of annoying and bitchy. Not so much Julia, but the other two.
Yeah.
But they seem like they come together pretty.
Yeah, like they actually do get something of a character arc that again in a better film would have been more fulfilling.
Yeah.
Again, we do not blame any of the actors involved at all. They were doing the best they could with what they had to work with.
Yeah. And so then she ends up. He gets hit with the P from a Pepsi sign.
Yes, Pepsi Cola. Pepsi Cola. So, proud sponsors of Madam Web are Calvin Klein and Pepsi Cola.
Yeah.
And they must be regretting that now.
I'm sure.
Because what the heck? But it's webbing time, man.
That's
we're going to bring down this Pepsi Cola sign on you so you die. And then, he gets crushed by the P, as you mentioned. P is for Peter Parker.
That's right.
And then she gets crushed by the S.
Yeah.
For,
And
for
it blinds
Spider,
her. Yeah.
and it
The light
blinds her and paralyzes her.
Yeah. So that's
Um,
so she's like the Madam Web from the comics, except
yeah,
much
except
younger.
young, yeah.
Yeah. And
And
then of
it's
course,
really,
yeah, Peter
yeah.
Parker's a baby and born, and they're all excited, and then they say, "Well, he's really excited about being an uncle, is
Uncle Ben, yeah.
without the responsibility." And then Madam Web, well, not
That's
for
what
long,
he.
or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, because they're like, yeah, he's so happy to be an uncle, all of the fun, none of the responsibility, and she goes, with this little smirk, this little pathological smirk. That's what he thinks, and it's like, why would you say that with that little smirk
Yeah.
on your
Secondly,
face as you predict his parents getting murdered?
yeah. Secondly,
Jesus.
why wouldn't you fucking forewarn them that this was gonna happen?
Right? Like,
Yeah.
it's already been established. Like, Ben is your friend and your partner,
Yeah.
work partner.
Yeah.
Mary seems like she seems at least to be on semi-friendly terms with Mary.
Yeah.
Why would you're just gonna let Ben's brother and sister-in-law
Yeah.
die
Right. And
and not warn them?
Don't warn him that he's going to get shot by
Right?
a robber that's
that you will
not going
also
to turn
be
out to be Sandman. Later in a retcon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we just get a little scene of them all living together, and she's looking over things like she's in Smallville or Arrow.
I have to. Well, also just the quality of the shot looks like something out of the CW.
Yeah. CW style acting and scripting.
God.
Yeah. And so then it's just kind of like, yeah.
And then you get a shot of them all in costume that never actually happened in the film proper. It feels like a sequel, like sequel bait. We're not getting a sequel. It will not be web in time ever.
And we never find out how the Spider Women get their powers.
Right!
Whatsoever.
No.
How'd they get them? Were they bitten by a spider? Was there a experiment? Who knows?
Because he was keeping that spider.
Yeah.
The spider that the villain got his powers from, he still had the spider.
Yeah.
I thought for sure that was going to come into play, at some point.
In a
during
much
the
better
climax.
logical movie, it would have.
Yeah.
See, it's interesting because the setup of this and the focus on the character actually very much reminded me of Birds of Prey, because Madam Web was the focus and the Birds of Prey were the background, and it feels the same way with the Spider Women in this, is that they were kind of the background.
Yeah. Oh, you meant Harley Quinn was.
Yeah. How Harley Quinn was the main focus of the Birds of Prey movie, and then we got the Birds of Prey in the background. Felt the same way. Madam Web was the focus here, and it's just like Madam Web is not a main character in the comics at all.
Yeah, she is.
She's a story.
She's
element.
not even a. I was about to say she's not even a secondary character. She is a tertiary character at best.
Yes.
And in recent years, Julia Carpenter has become the more memorable Madam Web.
Yeah. But it's that's why it was a bad idea to have her be the main character of a movie. You could have just done a Spider-Woman movie and that would have been just fine. It may not have been good, but it still would have been better than this. And it's just
and could have actually become Spider-Woman.
Yeah, and if you were gonna do the Moreland thing, which is what essentially Ezekiel Sims was doing,
right?
You could have just had him be fucking Moreland instead of
Right.
taking a character who was actually a hero in the comics, by the way.
Right.
And that's just being a villain and not caring.
Yeah, so stupid.
So really no good setup for the villain. The villain was boring, and the ADR and the accent, it just was all wrong.
Excuse me.
All
This
wrong.
sucks.
Yeah.
Madam Web sucks. It is
Yeah.
currently the #1 movie on Netflix.
People
and
must be doing the same thing.
people are probably doing the same thing we are.
Like, well, how bad could it be?
Trying
Why
to
not?
marveling and wondering at how bad a film can be, and the answer is very bad. It
Yeah.
is a very bad film.
So,
Yes. It is worse than I think any other film
Yeah.
we have ever reviewed on the. Well, no, I don't think it's worse than Black Christmas 2019.
No, that was bad.
That was horrible. That is the only film I think that we have reviewed.
Morbius is even better than this. So.
Yes.
And Morbius was boring,
And
and I
Morbius
fell
sucked.
asleep during
Yeah.
parts of it.
But this is outside of Black Christmas 2019. This is the worst film we have ever reviewed on this channel.
I'd agree.
Go ahead.
I'd agree. So yeah, in the Sony Spider-Verse upcoming, we have Kraven the Hunter coming out, where he'll get his lion powers. You know, that's totally comic accurate. And then Venom 3, that's coming out.
Yeah.
So that might be okay.
That might be fun. At least it has Tom Hardy in it.
Yeah, Tom Hardy will be good. I forget who the villain's going to be, but it's going to be another symbiote, I think.
They tend to be in
They
the
tend to be,
Venom films.
But yeah, so, and I did hear a rumor that they're going to do a Nicolas Cage Spider-Man Noir series on Amazon, so that'll be fun. And I think they're still trying to shop the Silk one. Amazon didn't pick it up. I think they're still going to. But I did hear that the people who are in charge of the Spider-Verse movie might be being put in charge of the whole universe.
And that would be good.
They can hopefully course correct from this awful disaster.
Yeah.
And
like just kind of
also, I just want to make a point.
Sure.
Once again, as I referenced in my video earlier, the Facebook post. As you can see, Anna is clearly a woman. And this was female-led. And Anna hated it probably more than I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I hated it too. But, so, the idea that the only reason that people weren't seeing this movie was because it was female-led. No, it's because it was a bad fucking movie. Yeah, no one wanted this.
Right, yeah. Like, I think it is something that can be put out into the universe, that there are assholes
well, of course.
who will not... that will not see a movie because it is female-led. Yeah. That is an absolutely true statement to make. There are assholes in this world who will not see a female-led film simply because it is female-led.
Right.
And that is misogyny. But to say that Madam Web failed because it is a female-led film is tokenism.
Yes, and also that as a woman you have to like it because it has female leads. That's stupid.
It sucks. It sucks.
You are allowed to think just because it has male leads. If I don't like the actors and writing, it sucks. Yeah,
this sucks. This film sucks, and I'm tired of talking about it. I don't know if
good.
you're okay.
I'm tired of talking about it too.
Awesome.
This will be the last we will speak on Madam Web.
Yes. Ever. Let's talk about something good.
All right. X-Men 97.
Yeah.
So the good thing about this series is that it's actually well written.
Mm-hmm.
It's very referenced to the comics and really follows a lot of canon.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the voice actors are back from the original series. The ones that are still alive, of course. A few have been replaced, but even they got to play other roles. If they were replaced, they got to play voice roles. And we get a nice... I won't go over a full spoiling of the whole story, but we get there's a lot of emotional beats.
There are.
Throughout the thing.
There are. I cried several times.
Yes, indeed.
I did.
If you've seen it, you know.
You know, yeah.
But it's really well done. The animation is really good. The voice acting is really good. The story is really good. And it's it's a shame that they fired the showrunner because I think he was doing a good job. But I mean, you never know. But I think he did write most of the second season too. So
before he got fired.
Yeah, so they said they'll be looking for a new lead writer for season 3. If season 3 happens, but no, it's great because it's also great too because if you've seen the X-Men movies that Fox did, it's basically Wolverine focused, and I love Wolverine. Don't get me wrong, but like, it was nice to kind of see him more in the background, playing his role the way it should be, and letting Cyclops kind of be the main leader, and then Storm getting to stand out more. Was great.
Yeah,
and of course Rogue. We all have Rogue, but. And Beast.
The Beast.
We like all the X-Men.
Yes.
So it's
how exactly like the X-Men. That's something I really love about the X-Men is like there's such a eclectic mix.
Yeah.
It's easy to like all of them.
Yeah.
Because there's such a diverse group of people. In terms of ethnicity, gender, sexuality, personality, it's such a huge diverse group.
Yeah.
And you wind up really loving them all just because each person is so unique and so different.
Absolutely.
And I feel like this did a really good job highlighting that.
Yes.
While staying because I mentioned this to you yesterday, so I'll say it here.
Yeah.
In terms of the animation, they did a really good job sticking to that 90s style, while also utilizing modern technique and technology to give it like a really vibrant sheen and like these really like vivid imagery and really smooth motion on and movement and action on screen. Like it looked really good.
Yeah.
Like a lot of care got put into that, which was really cool.
Totally.
And yes, justice for Cyclops.
Right.
That poor guy has been shit on so bad
Right.
over the decades.
In the comics and everything, yeah. But like, yeah.
He's just an uptight guy. He can't help it.
He's right. It's kind of like Leonardo in the Ninja Turtles a little bit. He's trying to be the leader, and
He's the Bert.
Yeah.
Someone's got to be the Bert.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and so and we have Mr. Sinister's in there too a bit, which is cool. It's good to see his character used. Bastion's a good villain too.
Yeah.
That's really fun. They get to see the Sentinels, of course, which is fun.
Yeah, and they made him look really creepy too.
Oh God, yeah, it was.
Gosh, or like where they would like the fact that you could actually get a sense of like existential dread from a cartoon.
Oh yeah.
Like that, it means the animators absolutely did their job.
Yeah.
And the new Sentinels, just that scene where slight spoiler here, where Rogue is in her hospital room or in her recovery room because she's injured, and like it actually takes you a minute. Like you think you're just looking at her in her bed, and then suddenly you realize, oh shit, she is surrounded.
Yeah.
And completely vulnerable. I remember, like, we both had that moment of like, oh god.
Yeah.
Like really well done shots.
Yeah, and what's great is that there's some joy and some fun, but there's also they aren't afraid to go a little dark.
Yeah.
Which I think is refreshing too, because sometimes people want to hold back and think, oh, these people can't handle it. It's like, no, come on. It's funny because it's like I saw this thing. It was just a sidebar of like, it was a interview with these parents who had taken their kid to see Alien in the theater. You know, and it's like, why'd you do it? Like, oh, you seem to enjoy it. And it's just like, yeah, because in a way, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't have gone to see Alien. But yes, but the point, honey.
I'm listening.
The point is,
I'm listening to the point.
Is different generational things. Is that we have a tendency to want to shield kids from seeing darker stuff. And I'm not saying go a 2-year-old to see it, but I'm saying like,
I would argue against.
I watched the Beastmaster when I was 5. Thank you. Anyway, freaking Raiders of the Lost Ark, for God's sakes, we watch a guy's face melt off. I mean, and I was pretty young.
Rated PG.
It was rated PG. So it's like, I'm just saying that I think that some of the stuff, a lot of this was aimed for the fans who grew up watching the original, but still, I don't think it's going to be a problem for you to watch it with your kids too. Right. I think that they can still get a lot of joy out of it, and learn some things too. And what's great about it too is like with the writing, is as I said in my podcast earlier too, but like is the ability to have a message that fits into the story as opposed to like some filler shit that you're throwing in there just to be like, here's my opinion on this shit. Or like in the comics where they had MODOK's face look like Trump, and I'm like, that's not. First, don't give him attention. He doesn't need any more. But like, it's just, that's not doing storytelling well. Like John Carpenter is good at like doing storytelling like that fits into a story. Like he can comment on something without it being, just so you know, this is totally about this. Yeah. So you don't have to spell it out. Like it fits. People can get the message without it being banged over their head. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. The writing here is let's absolutely give a shout out to the writing. Yes. They did a really good job telling their story while absolutely getting their points across that they needed to get put across in an X-Men story that has been about civil rights. Yeah. So when were the X-Men created? 1964, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Before that, 63. Yeah. Since the early 60s. Let's put it that way. Yeah. That has always been what the X-Men have been about. That is what they should be about. Yeah. And the creators of this show understood that really well.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So I definitely, if you haven't seen it, guys, all the episodes are up now and streaming. Yes. There is going to be a second season for sure. They set up some stuff for the next season, which would be pretty exciting. Some exciting storylines coming up. So we'll definitely look forward to watching more of that. Yep. It's good to see some good stuff from the MCU, which has been kind of hit or miss lately.
Yeah, MCU has been.
We got Deadpool Wolverine coming.
Yeah. They've not had a great past couple years, but X-Men 97 is definitely
On the plus.
a quality work that should absolutely be seen.
And you know, if you were Kevin Feige and Disney, you would think the best thing to do would be to get these writers and these jokers involved in your live action X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
But let's get Hunger Game writers instead. That's a good plan. And let's focus on it being female focused.
Well,
even though, you know, X-Men is supposed to be, but anyway.
It's a big group.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it shouldn't be. The females are going to be focused on it. Storm and Rogue,
right? And they were focused on here too.
They were focused on
it.
Everyone was balanced out the way it should be.
So, well, hopefully they use these writers for other things because they did a really good job.
Exactly.
They clearly knew the source.
These writers need more work. The writers of Madam Web need less work.
There we go.
At least superhero work, I guess.
There we go. So are we ready to wrap it up?
I'm ready to wrap it up.
Awesome. Cool. Basically, Madam Web gets infinite thumbs down.
X-Men 97,
infinite thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching all the way through.
Guys, and thanks for subscribing and watching. We enjoy having you here on our channel.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
And I'll be back with puns of the day on Monday.
Yay!
Have a good one, guys.
Bye.